Hi guys, welcome back to your Spanish lesson. So please make sure you've got the worksheet ready to go. There are a couple of exercises on there that I would like to receive and give you feedback on. Otherwise, you'll be able to get the answers from this video. Let's get started with our starter. So, por un lado, por otro lado, estoy bien, estoy mal. How are we, guys? Translate as many of the phrases you can see and look up any of the words that you may not be sure about. Use wordreference.com and learn them if possible, because they're going to come in handy in the near future. Spend no more than 3 to 5 minutes on this, and then let's move on with the lesson, which is all about ¿Qué tipo de persona es tú? So what type of person is your? The objective for today is to describe personalities and make comparisons, and this is going to be with yourself or comparing family members or friends. With this little exercise, can you please be matching up the Spanish adjectives on the left-hand side, 1 to 14, with the correct English translation? Spend no more than 5 minutes on this and come back for the answers. Okay guys, so we've got the answers now for these adjectives. Malhumorado, moody, tonto, stupid, fuerte, strong, simpático, friendly, you can also say kind or nice, malo, bad or naughty, alegre, cheerful, you can also say happy for this, antipático, unfriendly, trabajador, hardworking, callado, quiet, hablador, talkative, inteligente, intelligent, perezoso, lazy. Really great synonym for you with perezoso is vago, V-A-G-O. Number 13, débil is weak, and activo, the last one, is active. Make sure you've got these correctly written down so that they are useful for the next activity, which is a gap fill. You have got a table with 2 columns, the left saying adjetivos positivos and the right saying adjetivos negativos. So you've basically got antonyms here. So you've got the positive meaning and then you've got the opposite meaning being the negative. Fill in the gaps, and you can use the previous slide from before to help you with this. Spend no more than 5 minutes on it and come back for the answers. Okay, so hopefully your table should look something like this. Make sure you've got the accents in the correct places. So we've got simpático, antipático, estúpido, débil, and cortés. Make sure you're quizzing yourself on these. You could always create a little Quizlet set to help you, as we can use adjectives across all areas of our Spanish learning, not just in their individual units. Okay. Expresiones idiomáticas con partes del cuerpo. This is your next activity with 3 parts. Part 1, you've got to match up the idiomatic phrases to their English equivalent. These parts in bold are the partes del cuerpo, parts of the body. And in the idiomatic phrase, you've got to find their English equivalent. An idiomatic phrase, for those who are unsure, is basically where you've got a metaphor behind a sentence. So you're not saying what you really mean, you're saying it through another form. For example, to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So for example, you might go shopping for a neighbour because they can't get out of the house. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. 1 trip to the supermarket for 2 people. Part 2, you've got 5 sentences to make using parts A to E and matching them with 1 to 5. Choose the parts that make the most sense, and then part 3 is to translate them into English. I will be marking parts 2 and 3, and we've got the answers in part 1. Spend no more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes on this, and then we'll come back for part 1 answers. Okay, so hopefully you've managed to complete part 1, 2, and 3. And these are the answers for number 1. Ser un bocasos, to talk too much about things you shouldn't. In other words, to be a blabbermouth. Number 2, ser un cabezota, to be stubborn. Cabezota comes from the word cabeza, which means head, so you are very strong. You're going to stick to your morals and not change your mind. Number 3, romperse la espalda, to work very hard. Some people might say, oh, I'm bending over backwards to do this, or I'm going to break my back doing this, and that's because they're working really hard. They're using idiomatic phrases. Number 4, estar hasta las narices, to be fed up, and the Spanish phrase literally translates to be up to the nostrils. So I've had it up to here, some people might say. Number 5, en un abrir y cerrar de ojos, meaning very quickly. And if you look at it very literally, it's in an opening and closing of eyes, so in a blink of an eye. Excellent work, guys. Make sure you've got 2 and 3 for me to mark, and we will go on to the next exercise, which is a writing. You've got this little profile for you to fill out on your worksheet. You've got your nombre, apellido, nacionalidad, descripción física. Make sure you're using the correct form of ser to describe yourself. Edad. This is talking about our age. So remember, we don't say I am X amount of years old. We use a different verb. Profesión. If you've got a job, write it down. If you haven't, you could say I don't have one, or you can make it up. Describe tu personalidad. Describe your personality. Again, be careful as to whether you're using ser or estar. And aficiones. These are things you're passionate about. It might be a hobby, it could be sports, it could be music. Up to you. Fill out the profile and I will report back on your writing. Next up, you have a listening, and you have this table in your worksheet. I would like you to listen to the 5 different people who are talking about themselves, normalmente soy, what they can be, a veces puedo ser, and a friend, mi amigo, mis amigos. Answer the table in Spanish, please, and listen carefully as to whether they use feminine or masculine ending adjectives to describe themselves and others. Pause the video as many times as you need and rewind the video if you need to hear something again.
Página 49. Ejercicio 8. Escucha. Copia y completa la tabla en español. 1.
Normalmente soy serio, pero a veces puedo ser divertido. Mi amigo siempre es optimista. Normalmente soy serio, pero a veces puedo ser divertido. Mi amigo siempre es optimista.
2.
Normalmente soy habladora, pero a veces puedo ser tímida. Mi mejor amigo Carlos siempre es tímido. Normalmente soy habladora, pero a veces puedo ser tímida. Mi mejor amigo Carlos siempre es tímido.
3.
Yo normalmente soy pesimista, pero también puedo ser divertido, como mis amigos que siempre son divertidos. Yo normalmente soy pesimista, pero también puedo ser divertido, como mis amigos que siempre son divertidos.
4.
Mis amigos dicen que soy una persona fiel. A veces puedo ser muy tímida. Sin embargo, mis amigos son habladores. Mis amigos dicen que soy una persona fiel. A veces puedo ser muy tímida. Sin embargo, mis amigos son habladores.
5,
Tengo un amigo, Valentín, que siempre es perezoso. Yo, por el contrario, casi siempre soy trabajador. A veces puedo ser muy serio también. Tengo un amigo, Valentín, que siempre es perezoso. Yo, por el contrario, casi siempre soy trabajador. A veces puedo ser muy serio también.
Okay, well done guys, that was the end of the listening. So hopefully you've managed to fill in as much as you can in Spanish, and these are the answers we should have got. As you can see, there are some changes to the spelling, so we've got habladora, tímida, habladores. If you're uncertain of these adjective changes, go back a couple of lessons and have a look at the notes, and you'll be able to see why they change. Okay, you now have a reading exercise, please. Lee y contesta a las preguntas. ¿Es Lola, Isaac, or Alba? So you have 6 questions now. These are on the worksheet and the challenge as well, which is to spot any comparators being used. This is part of our learning objective, and this is what we'll move on to after this reading. Imagine this is a take 10, so try to do it in 10 minutes and use the support around you. Excellent, guys. Okay, so these are the answers, and I've also put in the answers where it would be in the text, just to give you a bit of a clue. So, Isaac, vivo con mi tía. So, who's the South American auntie? It is Isaac's auntie, because they say, estudio en Buenos Aires. I study in Buenos Aires, that's in Argentina, and mi tía, that being the family member. Luna, hermana, es más pequeña. Luna, 3 hijos. So the question was, who has nephews? It doesn't actually state in this text the word sobrinos. So we've got to look a bit further at the context. So my sister and her husband live in Berlin with their 3 children. So that has got to be the nephews, because they're the children of Luna's sister and husband. So looking at the context there. This one's referring to not having much in common, very literal in this sense. No tenemos mucho en común. A large family, that's Luna again, because she says, my mum has 7 brothers and sisters. All of them have children. So again, it's not saying mi familia es grande. It's looking at the context, going further into the detail. And the last one, Isaac, Isaac trabaja como médica, and that is his auntie working as a doctor. The challenge was the comparative structures, which are here in Luna and Alba's text. Let's take a look a bit closer at these. So, comparisons in Spanish. How to make a comparison. We have 3 structures. First one, más, adjective, que. This means more than. The example given here, Shakira es más alta que Kylie. Shakira is taller than Kylie. As you may notice, we have the A in red because we're talking about a lady, so the adjective's got to be feminine. The adjective always agrees with the first noun of a comparative. On to number 2. Menos adjective que is less than. So my brother, mi hermano, es menos inteligente que yo. My brother is less intelligent than myself or than I. And this one here, to say someone is as something as, we use tan como with the same structure. Soy tan guapa como mi madre. Guapa, this indicates we're talking about a girl, even though the verb just says I am. See if you can make these three sentences work with the correct form. Okay, so these are hopefully the answers you got. So number 1, mi amiga Luisa es más seria que mi hermana. It doesn't really matter who you put at the end of these sentences. This is just to help finish it off. So my friend Luisa, it's a girl, is more serious, seria. Number 2, mi padre, my dad, is less healthy than my mum. Sano, because we're talking about padre. And number 3, mis hermanos, it's plural this time, that's why it's in green. Son menos trabajadores que yo. So we notice a change in the verb as well. So when we say someone is, we say es, and when we say some people are, son. Make a note of that if you need to. Okay, you have this screenshot on your worksheet with the following phrases. You've got to decide if they're true or false. If you think they're false, based on the photo here, you've got to say so, and the challenge is to correct them. Give yourself 5 minutes and come back for the answers. Okay, hopefully you have got the answers, and they are as follows. So, Nuria is más alta que Rico. That is correct. She is taller than Rico. Is Maria less old? In other words, is she younger than Pedro? No, she is older, más vieja. Is Rico shorter than Nuria? Yes, es menos alto. Is Rico younger than Pedro? Yes, he is más joven que Pedro. And Elena, is she older than Pedro? No, if anything, she's younger, es menos vieja. You could have adapted the false sentences to keep the menos or the más and change the adjective, but in this case, we're just focusing on the use of más and menos. 3, 2, 1. Translate these sentences, guys. Use the hints to help you and come back for the answers. Okay, so hopefully you have come up with these as your answers. Pause the video and come back for the final explanation. Okay, so your last activity is a photo description. You've got 3 little ones to do. Activity 1 is the green level. Read the instructions and then create your answer. Activity 2, you've got to expand upon your answer that you wrote for activity 1. That's your amber option. So make sure you're starting at green first. And the last one is to use a dictionary, or you could use wordreference.com to fill in the gaps